Hey guys, Rexasaur here and welcome to Update Monday on the 18th of October 2021. I don't really know where to start. I had a week and then I had a weekend and now we're on Monday. That's generally how time travels on a 7-day week. The big highlight of last week, D&D was pretty good. On the Wednesday I went to Dragon and Panda's place, although it seems like ages just because of the hectic weekend I had, but that was good fun. That was really chill. It was good chill. And then on the weekend I went to Bristol from the Friday up right after work and spent it with one of my friends, and then yesterday, which was a Sunday, we basically went out for his mum's birthday. We went to a place in Bristol called Wild Place Project, which if you live around the area or even if you don't, I highly recommend. It's like I don't really know how to. It's an animal reserve for like African-ish animals. I say ish because there's also some like European animals which is supposedly supposed to represent British animals, because it's like a reserve. They have a section which is a lot of Africa, so they have a bunch of birds, they have a bunch of mammals. They don't have any reptiles. I think it's just birds and mammals actually, which are really cute. We got to see some. They had giraffes there, which are massive, and it's only when you're seeing giraffes in person that you realise how fucking massive they are. Conversely, we also saw some cheetahs. They had a trio of cheetahs. Cheetahs are very small compared to what you expect them, which is crazy. They're really small. Like, if I was to stand up, they come up to below my hip, which is like, okay. They're probably pretty tall. They're probably, if they stood on their hind legs, they'd probably be as tall. But yeah, they're very lithe, very, very elegant, very cute. And then, so that's one half is like African-ish reserve kind of animals, and then the other half is British wildlife, but it's like pre-cutting down the entirety of the woodland wildlife. So they had wolves, they had bears, they had wolverines, and they had lynx. And we didn't get to see the wolves because they were all sleepy, but we saw a bear, which it's quite small. It was a European brown bear, so pretty small. In relation to other bears that you may know about for some reason. So they're much more than, say, the grizzly bear or the black bear in North America, and I think the black bear is also in northern Russia. But yeah, it was like a European brown bear, so pretty. It's still a fucking bear, so it's still pretty big, but it's not obviously sized. Like, when you put it next to a giraffe, for example, it's quite small. And then we saw a wolverine, or we saw two. There were two, and they were running all the way around their like enclosure, but they were kind of keeping to the undergrowth. It was really cool. And we also saw a lynx mum and her two pups, which were really cool, or kits, I guess, because they're cats. Yeah, they were really cute. Just chilling. It was great. Whilst also learning about woods and different types of trees and shit. We also saw. We saw some really cool animals. We saw some zebra, which are also quite small. They resemble more donkeys than they do horses. What else did we see? We also saw an okapi, which is the only other member of the giraffe family. The similarities between it and the giraffe is that it has a not super long neck. It's probably very horse-like in its neck shape, but it has the same bone structure, and it has a fucking massive tongue, which is prehensile, meaning that it can move it as if it is a arm, for example. It can just like latch onto things and like grab things and twist it around and stuff. Also learnt that the reason why giraffes and the okapi have black tongues is so that they don't get sunburnt, which is interesting, as you do. But yeah, so that was that. Very much recommended. It's pretty cheap. It's just outside of the Cribs Causeway Mall, which is very easy to get to if you live around the area or even if you don't. But yeah, very, very, very good. And then it had a load of like places you can just chill. It's probably a better place to go in the summer, but yeah, it was really cool. We saw some meerkats as well. I know people love meerkats, but there we go. There was a bunch of meerkats. That's what we did yesterday. And then we went to a French restaurant where I ordered French stuff, and I felt very French. If that doesn't tell you anything, then I don't know what will. Right. That was my weekend. Pretty great. I very much sped run through that, but it was really good. Highly recommended. Good fun. If you're friends with me on Instagram, you would have seen the pictures. If you don't have an Instagram, then don't know what I'm going through. Going forward. Oh my god, big yawn. Sorry about that. Going forward, I will not be doing an update Monday for the next 2 weeks. Starting this weekend coming, my girlfriend is flying over from the US for the first time in a long time. So we're going to Scotland and then just doing the rounds basically. I'm going to see my brother, going to see Panda Dragon, going to see her friends, and then going to visit a bunch of stuff. So hey ho. So that'll be for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, no update Monday for the next 2 weeks, but you'll have an update Monday afterwards. Very excited, as you can probably imagine. I haven't seen her since January, so yay long distance relationships over the pandemic. Am I right? And then hopefully in that period I'll have at least made some kind of progress towards figuring out what the future will hold for us. So that'll be nice. Yeah, it's a lot of debating going to be happening, that's for sure. You should move here because now you should move here because I don't think it's going to go like that at all. But hey ho. No, it's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to it, as you can probably imagine, and it's just going to be nice to finally not just be sat in like limbo, which is what I feel like the last year has been for me. It's just been like limbo of waiting until I can actually make decisions, because I don't feel like I have been able to do that. But yeah, so I'm going up to London on the Friday, and it'll be fun. Oh my god, I'm so tired from this weekend, man. Oh, it was such a good weekend, but bloody hell was it tired. We played a lot of Magic the Gathering, me and my friend. I love that game. It's so good. It's just so chill because it's really easy to teach. Like, it's not easy to teach, but it's easy to pick up, I should say. And once you're used to the mechanics of a deck, it's very easy to then understand the mechanics of the others. And what's great about the way in which the game is played is that all the cards kind of tell you what they do, which means that when a new mechanic is included, then it's not out of thought. It's like, oh well, okay, this makes sense because I know of all the basic mechanics from my deck. It's an interaction such as that. So yeah, but yeah, it's good. That's that. Yeah, that's about it. It's going to be, yeah, this week's going to be a bit weird, mostly because I'm going to be doing a lot of packing. I don't know if you can notice behind me, I have cleaned up quite a bit. I know that the front end of my desk, of the table I should say, that's behind me still has a bunch of shit on it. Trust me, there was a lot of shit behind it as well. That's all gone. There was also a lot of shit on the floor, which is now all gone as well. I'll be getting rid of a bunch of shit over the next 2 weeks. So next update Monday, hopefully, I'm hoping that this thing will no longer have shit on it. I can't guarantee that because the thing is, this box, this cardboard box set that looks like it's just been come from Amazon, is actually got a lot of shit in it. That's like, it's got like my naturalization certificate in it and things, which, because I currently have a box that's down there which has other shit that's important, such as I have like some banking crap, I have medical records and stuff in it, but the thing is, there's not enough room in that for this shit, so there's shit in there that could go in that but can't right now, and it's just mental. So yeah, I need to do some sorting to hopefully get that box emptied or moved, There's also a hat on it, and then I've just got some stuff like the plastic box I want to get rid of, but it's like a really convenient like container box where I can put stuff in if I was to move or just to store things, but it takes up so much space. And in my previous place, I had a nice convenient place for it, but here there's not that much space for me to put it anywhere. And the issue is, I would, and normal people would, store stuff under the bed. The issue is that the way in which my bed is built, it doesn't have very much like floor space until the bed's frame. There we go, I found the word. Which means I can't actually store things under it that easily. So currently I've got like some mesh like containers, I guess, where I've put clothes and stuff in there, because that's the only thing that can really fit and be squashed without really damaging anything. So yes. But yeah, I don't know why I've just discussed that with you, but hey ho. But yeah, just basically I'm doing that because I want to figure it out myself, what I want to do, and I barely do it whenever I'm not talking. But I only ever talk to myself really when I'm talking to other people, or when I'm talking on Update Mondays. So there we go, that's my thought process for everyone. I know no one cares. Also, fun fact, I was like looking at my bookshelf from the camera up there. You can see 2 white books at the top. So that's a trilogy. I know there's only 2, but I'll come into that. There's a trilogy of books by one of my favourite authors, Trudy Cavahan. She's really good. If you've not read the Black Magician's trilogy, do so. It's really good. Absolutely fantastic. So that up there is the sequel to that trilogy. It's a different trilogy, which happens like I want to say 20 or 30 years after the events of the Black Magician's trilogy. But that's book 2 and 3, and for the longest time I could not for the life of me remember where book 1 was, because it's not as part of my possessions here. I couldn't find it when I went back to my parents. I just couldn't. It wasn't part of my selection of books that were there. So currently my parents are remodeling, or I should say they're not, they're sorting things out with the purpose of potentially moving, which for my parents means they're probably not, but they sort it out. And then my dad has this very bad habit of throwing things that aren't his away, because it's not his stuff, so obviously it's not useful, and both me and my brother haven't taken it, thus it can't be important, which is not the case. The case is I have no room to store this shit. But yeah, anyway, that's a story in its own. But he sent us a picture of several books that he'd found. This includes the entire like original Harry Potter collection that we own from when the books were coming out back in the day. And amongst the other books and stuff, there's quite a few books that I looked at. I was like, oh my god, I remember these books. These were really good books. Amongst which is the fucking first book of that trilogy. And I'm like, how the fuck did I carry those 2 through 3 moves, but I left the first one at home? Like, it doesn't make sense how that happened. And I don't know if what was happening is that either one of my parents was reading it or someone else was reading it, because I was lending it out or something, and then they gave it back or they finished reading it. And because I'd already carried the first 2, I just left, or the second 2, the first book just left like back to my parents. It's just a really strange thing, but I'm happy because I now know where it is, and I don't have to just randomly re-buy the first book and just be like, why the fuck did I not get where'd the first one go? So yeah, that was a random tidbit and a bit of a rant, but I know everyone loves those, so hey ho. In other news, let's go back to the things that people care about, gaming. Baldur's Gate 3 released their update last week out of the blue. So in the last Update Monday I told you how I played at EGX. I was expecting it to be 2 or 3 weeks before the patch, not 3 days. So they released it I think on Thursday. And it includes a Sorcerer Class, and what's great about it actually releasing the update is that they give us the patch notes, so we actually know what the fuck they've included. They've changed a lot between patch 6 and patch 5, so we're currently on patch 6. The Sorcerer Class has been added, several spells have been added, but also like several interactions between the characters have been added. Patch 5 included a new camping system, which I hadn't played yet because I last played Patch 4. So I'm experiencing that for the first time as well, and the interactions is really good there. But the greatest thing, whilst also being the worst thing, they've added an entire new section to the end of the current game, which is great, because currently what would happen is you would get to a section called the Underdark, and you would sail on a boat to go to this other section, and then the game would be like, this is all the content in early access. Now you go on the boat and you keep playing because they've got that whole section finally completed. So that's going to be fantastic to eventually reach, because obviously I have to do a full playthrough again. Be a great thing to finally reach and just like experience that and see what's what. The frustration with this is that they still haven't allowed us to go beyond level 4, which frustrates me heartlessly. I'm annoying because level 5 is the best level, in my opinion. Level 3 is a good stepping point, sure, because level 3 you get your first, second level spells. If you're a wizard character, or a spell character I should say, and all the other classes get their subclasses. So you get like your, I can differentiate myself from the fighter can be 2 different kinds of fighter, the barbarian can be 2 different types of barbarian, all that stuff. But level 5 is great because all the combat characters, most of the combat characters, the vast majority of combat characters get their second attack, which makes them just less of a, I hit once and I missed, I've lost my entire turn. If you get 2 attacks, it's like, I've missed one but I've hit one. I've not done, as much damage as possible, but it's good because at least I've done something. And all of the magic characters get their 3rd level spells, which is really cool because the 3rd level spells open up a lot of new options and a lot of cool stuff. You get access to things like Lightning Bolt and Fireball, which are really cool spells. I've just realised I've gone into a rant again. No one gives a shit what I have to say. But yeah, it just frustrates me because level 5 is just such a cool level, and the fact that they're not like doing anything with it is just really frustrating. It's not that they're not doing anything, but like the game is already really stale because you got to about the midpoint of what's currently the content at the max level that you got, so level 4. You've still got 50% of the game to go, and now it's more because it'll be like 40% of the game that's currently available can be reached with level 4. And then from level 4 beyond, you've got another 60% of the game. It's like, how would I even compare this? It's like if you were playing, say, Apex. I don't know why I would choose Apex. But let's go with that. It's like you picked Apex, you beat the first team, you've already got gold weapons everywhere. And it's like, is this a challenge? Basically. It's like I've got everything. Everyone else is still on blue. Maybe perps, but it's like, ugh. Or like if you're on like Minecraft and you like dig down your first set of like tunnel and you just end up with a diamond mine, you're like, oh god, okay, normally you only find 1 or 2 and here I have like 17 blocks of diamond. Or it's like you're playing Assassin's Creed, you finish the first story like section and they instantly give you the max level gear and you're like, oh, okay. So yeah, it's a bit shit. It frustrates me a lot. The thing with D&D as well, I'm hoping, I haven't thoroughly read through the patch notes enough to know, but the way in which they could help out the fact that we can't get level 5 is if they give us stronger enchanted items, because right now the enchanted item pool is pretty lacking. Like the maximum you get is like +1 weapons. And I feel like Solasta did a really good job because there were a lot of items that you got near the mid to early game, which was like, oh, this is where I started to get my enchanted items that like give me, a base strength stat of 19. That's cool. Yeah. Anyway, that was Miniran. I've extended this way longer than it needs to be, but yeah. Big things to take away from this. Wild Place project in Bristol is fucking great. I had a moment where I had to stop the video because my housemate walked in for work-related queries. Yeah, so I can't even remember where the fuck I was. This is going to be a weird jump cut, which I don't usually do. I don't edit these videos. Who the fuck do you think I am? But yeah, so that's everything I have to say. I'm looking forward to my week. I hope that you guys have a good week. I'm looking forward to the odd streams that I am going to be able to watch, which will be today, Monday, and Wednesday. That's right, I only watch Cucumber these days, because my other favourite streamers are currently not streaming very often. Hey-ho. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I have to say. Yeah, so sorry I'm not going to see you for 2 weeks, but also I'm really not sorry I'm not going to see you for 2 weeks, so sucks to be you. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great 2 weeks, I guess. I will still probably be popping into some chats here and there, watching videos here and there, so hey-ho, keep doing what you do. And I will talk to you soon. I've just hit my laptop. I'm sorry about the loud noise that's going to be. Hey.